Ukraine's President Zelensky says the $60 billion military aid package approved by American lawmakers last night will give his country a chance of victory in its war against Russia. In an interview on American television, he said more weapons would help Kyiv retake the initiative, especially long-range missiles. Earlier, Russia's foreign ministry condemned the US aid package, saying America was wading deeper into a war that would end in its humiliation. Well, Ukrainian forces have been coming under increasing pressure recently in the east of the country, and there have been concerns in the west about Russian advances, including the seizure of the strategic town of Avdiivka back in February. Well, James Waterhouse has the very latest now from Kyiv.
A production line waiting for a presidential sign-off. Freshly made artillery shells in this factory in Pennsylvania, USA. Now almost certain to make their way to a Ukrainian battlefield, where there are holes instead of rounds. After America threw its weight back behind Ukraine, the message here is, you make it, we'll use it. Near Kupiansk in the northeast, it's the Russians who are edging closer.
It's better now if we let them attack and we defend, but when we get the shells, drones and whatever else from this package, we can turn things around.
It's hoped this US aid will save Ukrainian lives and cities, like Kyiv, but it's been a painful wait.
Our guys need help because they have nothing to protect us. We always need help because without it, our enemy can advance further and can be in the center of our city.
Of course, it is not too late. In any case, aid is needed. And whether it would be later or earlier, in any case, it will help.
There has been a constant flow of diplomats through Kyiv as they have tried to pave the way for this bill to be passed. Better late than never is the reaction we're hearing this weekend. Never would have meant an almost certain defeat for Ukraine. However, late still means it's going to be difficult for Kyiv to change momentum on the battlefield straight away.
Це важлива допомога, яка сьогодні посилить Україну.
This aid will strengthen Ukraine and send the Kremlin a powerful signal that it will not be the second Afghanistan. The United States will stay with Ukraine and they will protect democracy in the world. This is a show of leadership and strength.
While the West has wavered, Russia has stayed committed to its invasion. Ukraine needs to make America's return count to keep Moscow and Western doubt at bay.
James, you've covered this war from the very beginning. What's your assessment of what difference this military aid could make to events on the ground?
Clive, it is still early days despite the significance of this intervention. The Kremlin has dismissed the return of American help as being doomed and doubled down on its desire for its special military operation, what it still calls this invasion, for it to succeed. But if we're talking about it being a turning point in this war, perhaps in the sense that it's steered it away from an approaching Russian victory. As for Ukraine, well, for it to be a turning point for Ukraine, that would involve taking back territory that has been taken, punching through these static, reinforced trench systems spanning hundreds of miles. Or that would involve making Russia's occupation in some areas unsustainable and forcing it to withdraw. Then you're talking about a turning point and the tide of this war turning once more. But this intervention, this return of American support we've seen this weekend, has extended a war that is already long, more than a decade old. But there are some faint hopes here in Kyiv that Ukraine just might have a say in how it ends. It is a significant seismic intervention, but there is a lot of fighting and a lot of lives, sadly, still to be lost.